new year, new haircut.
New haircut.
I've never felt more at home in anything you should see before. So when I think about it, where else could be as good as Berlin, I know this is just like my opinion, but I can't see myself happier anywhere else right now. Going to APX really professionalized the company. Eliminated all sort of guesswork, and we felt that we were following a predetermined path that they had developed in the form of their course.
Next episode on Fade and Fortune, I'm interviewing Dom. I met Dom through the party scene in Berlin, and we just connected straight away because we both had a business in Berlin. We're both from the UK, and it was obviously difficult setting up a business here in Germany, but he did it. He was successful. He left that business now, and he started it during university actually with a friend. That friend is still running the business, but Dom's left that, and we talk about that a bit more in the interview. He came over to Berlin with a business that was going to help grow his company, and it did. He was very successful, and we're going to go into more details about that. I'm trying a different format for these interviews, so please let me know if you like it. I've done the interview after the haircut, and I'm going to be showing parts of the haircut during the interview, because sometimes when you're doing a haircut for the first time, it's easier to concentrate on what you're doing, and talking at the same time is not always the best method. So this time I've tried it a different way. I've done the haircut and I'm using the interview for the B-roll, and you're going to see clips of that through the process. I hope you enjoy it, and thanks for watching. Mate, so I've never done your hair before.
Yeah, so I was actually thinking about this on the way over here.
What do you want to get done?
Normally when I get a haircut in Germany, because my German's non-existent, I show a photo. Because the language barrier and everything, it's like everything could go wrong, but you're the professional. I would say,
I think it's very top heavy. It's got quite a bit of a disconnection.
Yeah.
I think it's got a lot of weight here, so it looks like definitely like it's been cut before to the same length, so that's why it's falling quite flat.
Yeah.
How long was the last time you got it cut?
Probably a month ago.
Okay, so you didn't have too much taken off then.
No.
You don't go short then.
I'm keen to change it up.
Okay.
Like new year, new haircut.
New haircut.
And I actually prefer it like short on the sides and the back for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's like we could do like something. Do you like the sort of length that I've got on the sides?
Yeah,
okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what we could, because it naturally wants to fall flat onto the face.
Yeah.
So I think it could be nice to have a fringe.
Yeah.
Not something up.
Yeah.
I think something, and but we could bring that fringe up a little bit, take a lot of weight out, and give it a texture. So it'd be like a little bit like a crop.
Yeah.
But like a sort of slightly longer version. And then we can play with that, and then we can do a nice fade on the sides, and down to zero or something. Cool.
Awesome. Yeah, sounds good.
All right, mate.
Yeah.
We're gonna give your hair a wash first.
Yeah,
Just come
sounds
take a seat
good,
over here. Living in Berlin for 5 years?
Yeah.
6 years, is it?
Almost, yes. I think in April will be 6 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And could you see yourself living anywhere else in Europe?
Yeah, that's always a question I get asked, and I feel Berlin has changed my life completely. I've never felt more at home in anything you should see before. So when I think about it, where else could be as good as Berlin, I know this is just my opinion, but I can't see myself happier anywhere else right now.
How did you end up coming to Berlin originally 5 years ago?
It was a really interesting story. We started a business in Scotland.
Vista.
So registered in Scotland, straight out of the university. I stayed in Scotland for another year after graduating. And then we moved to London, and we were there for about 10 months, I think. And we raised a bit of cash in the first year, but we were actually approaching the end of our runway. We were pretty low on money, And
The business is based in the UK though, right?
that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
And at this time, I was reaching out to a whole bunch of investors, and one of them was actually an accelerator program called APX. And just as the business was like ready to close, I told my co-founders, you know, we have this opportunity to go to Berlin and accept us onto the program. Pete with them to come with me.
So you brought your team with you from the UK to Berlin.
Yeah, there was 5 of us at the time.
So you didn't come here for the tech now, you came here for the business.
Exactly, yeah. Kind of unusual, arrival story. Business or pleasure, it was business.
It was business,
Yeah.
which is not normally the normal direct route from Berlin.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, most people that you meet when you live in Berlin, when they come from overseas, they're looking to either like start a new chapter in their life, or they're finding life and this is the big handle before too expensive, or maybe they're just wanting something fresh.
So what if you go a bit deeper into that question about what the business actually is then that you found?
So this is a company that I started with my co-founder Max Osborne about 7 years ago now, and it was a startup that was really trying to pursue this like typical social media hyper-growth mindset. We wanted to create a social media platform where people could ask questions and get answers. So the name this that originates from having a question at the top and then 2 answer options, this or that. And
Because it's a survey-based website.
And we collected a lot of data. We created a really unique way of collecting data. And over the course of a startup's development, you see what works, and then you try to capitalize on what's working. And for us, the business, you could argue, it pivoted quite drastically from being a social media platform for everyday people to actually being a survey-based marketing measurement company.
Who was doing the surveys?
So we created the surveys based on what brands we're looking to find out from their campaigns. So it was a somewhat interactive experience. We obviously had the expertise of knowing what questions work best with certain audiences, or how to frame questions, and also not only questions but the answer options, like what kind of answer options would yield the best insight.
I think I remember once I was at a barber convention, and these people came up to me and were like, "Can you do this survey? And we'll give you €50 cash right now." And I remember thinking, "What? €50 cash?" I did this survey. It took me like less than 5 minutes. €50 cash. And I was like, wow. And then I actually signed up to that then and started getting more surveys from them. Was there like a follow-up thing that you would do to incentivize people doing more surveys?
So survey incentives are a strange art. Obviously, the monetary reward or a gift or anything that has some sort of like monetary value, one would assume that that's the best way to incentivize people to answer a survey. But when you look at the data, any kind of survey that's rewarding people financially usually yields quite bad data, quite poor quality data. And the reason behind that is, if you're getting paid 50 euros, that's quite a nice sum, then you might take the survey seriously, but a lot of people are being paid to answer surveys for, a few cents or a couple of pounds or euros. And their goal is to answer as many surveys as possible. So in your example there, is that you've got data with more requests. There are people that exist that try to earn a bit of cash on the side by just answering surveys. And when that question of the quality of data comes up, what you'll typically find is when there's a financial reward in place, people answer the survey as quickly as possible, and they'll leave any answer just to get through it.
I think you're right, actually. I think I remember when I was doing the survey, I was just like, I'm getting €25 PayPal, and I was just kind of going through, trying to get through as quick as possible without thinking too much into it. So like, I saw that with the business and you've moved to Berlin, and I think in 2019 you got like a lump sum of money to get the business off the ground, around 50,000 or something like that. What was that sort of pressure from getting that lump sum of money? Did you feel like, wow, now we've got to do the work, or did it feel like we've achieved something and we're getting this support around us?
I think But to one quote back, maybe like a year before that, we actually raised £100,000 in our first year of business. That was through an angel investor
And this was in the UK.
in the UK. Yeah. And that to us was a huge like celebration moment. We lost our heads actually when we got the deal signed.
Yeah.
It was huge revenue. We'd never seen that kind of cash before. We were basically recent graduates.
Yeah.
And it gave us the freedom to hire that team of 5, living on very modest salaries. I mean, for the first 3 years of this, I was earning about £400 to £800 a month.
Yeah.
We lived in a one-bedroom apartment between 3 co-founders. They constantly swapping the bed. The 2 of us lying inside of the bed, so they didn't make nothing to be proud of.
Yeah, I think that's how it all starts in the beginning.
Yeah.
Right? Especially as a graduate.
Exactly. Yeah. So the 100K, it brought us what we needed in terms of like a team, and I guess the foundation of the business. The investment that you just mentioned there at APX, that gave us much more than money alone. It was a moment where we felt verified that being an esteemed investment fund or its service program chose us from thousands of applicants, and they
So they only give it to a certain amount of people each year. Then
our cohort was I think roughly 20 businesses, maybe something less. And the beauty with APX is they bring you in. They assign you team members from their fund, and they guide you through all sorts of questions. For us, it was how do we find product market fit. So we had constant support from really incredible individuals.
do you think that was the success of the business, was being taken on by this company or this service? Or do you think that you could have also done it without them?
I think so. The year before we joined APX, we were very much like a scrappy startup, often trial and by error, and with that you gain experience and what works and what doesn't work. But with that as well, a lot of inefficiency. Going to APX really professionalized the company. It eliminated all sort of guesswork, and we felt that we were following a predetermined path that they had developed in the form of their course.
Yeah. So you put a lot of your success down to the APX.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, even the very fact that we had the responsibility to show up every morning, present ourselves as like dedicated and hardworking, and you're almost in an environment where you're client facing.
Yeah.
Like from morning till late at night.
Yeah.
So with that, you feel that pressure, and we feel that sense of like, if we do what we're being told to do, if we follow the course, and try and stand out in that course as well, we have every right to be the next big startup.
Yeah, exactly.
And we did share with APX, and we had a demo day at the end, and I pitched the business to an audience of in excess of 200 people. During the time, APX, we had instruction from a pitch coach. So we were learning the art of public speaking and how to pitch for VC money. So at the end of APX, we did this big demo day, and off the back of that, I think we secured 3-year angel investors. So, yeah, as I said.
What's the difference, do you think, between angel investors and VC money then?
So angels, one huge benefit you get with them is they've more often than not, had a successful business themselves to generate the kind of capital that you need to start dishing out, small investments, maybe 30 grand up to 200 grand to startups. And usually the mantra is that they'll invest in a range of different startups. But the real benefit you're getting there is they've done it before themselves, so you can learn a lot from your angel investors, particularly if they're very much aligned to your business, if they've had experience in your industry. They also speak quite honestly. They're really.
I found a lot with angel investors, with the ones who were interested, they had some sort of like, they were obviously from that background, like with the music business that I had, you know, one guy that was potentially going to be an investor, he'd studied music production and stuff, so it was like this. So it's probably something similar for you, like people who were invested were maybe had worked a little bit in that background.
Yeah, I mean, we were very lucky to have a really amazing group of angel investors. The other thing I think that sort of makes them slightly different to a VC, and you see a lot of VCs saying, you know, we're a fund made up of entrepreneurs, and you know, have some of the employees of these VCs have started their own businesses before. But with an angel, you really know they've been through the tunnel, the highs and lows. And for us, I think because we were so young and we started this business, you could say that these guys, along with our board of advisors, were in some respects like fatherly figures or motherly figures in our like, you know, our company.
Yeah.
And particularly as like resources for myself and my co-founder. But the other thing I'd say about VCs, which I think you know, they deserve a lot of credit as well. With VCs, you typically have, you know, lots of people within the company that have really great exposure to other startups and other potential clients, and of course other investors.
It's quite hard, I've heard lately, to get VC money now because of the climate.
We have all seen, I think, you know, this huge change in the valuations of startups in recent years. I think somewhat gone are the days, perhaps excluding the AI industry, gone are the days of extremely high value startups at very early stages.
Crypto companies.
Exactly, yeah. But we were lucky, we started our business just before that became a reality. That being said, we were also quite slow to raise the VCs. The main difficulty, I think, with raising a VC is they need to be pretty certain that you're worth an investment.
Yeah.
And that's understandable. It's usually larger sums than an angel investment. But what I mean by that is you really have to have everything really well organized. You have to have phenomenal traction. You basically have to stand out from a huge amount of competition as well. So my advice is that, you know, if you're looking to raise your VCs, is track as much as you can, maybe user growth and how much time you spend on the platform.
Yeah.
Are they churning, and are they really true that they've got lifetime value with you? And so long as you have all those metrics, that's really what the VCs are looking for. It's a calculation into you, rather than sometimes with ages it's more of like interpersonal bond, or like
kind of like feel like more friendship sort of thing.
VCs just have to protect themselves. They can't make rogue investments. And
true.
We need to have that nowadays.
I want to talk a little bit about your sort of new business venture and how this has come about, and if you're happy to talk about how you have not part of this and that anymore.
So I think in hindsight, upon reflection, like it did come to an action line for me. I was really enjoying my time then, making nothing against anyone there. Actually just got huge admiration for the entire team. They've proven themselves.
Is the old founder still there?
Yeah, my co-founder Max is still there. And we have a good relationship now. So that's something to be proud of. Like, a lot of founders have founded bigger firms. It's probably the most important.
Did they stay in Germany, the team, or move back to the UK?
The team actually eventually all moved back to the UK. So they're based in London now, in Hoxton Square. Yeah. Just outside Portland and Shoreditch. But the whole team's there, and I was the last to go back. So you can see again, there's a natural distancing from the company. But what I'd say about this and my experience there is, you're really proud that I was able to enjoy the 6 years that I spent doing that day in, day out.
Sound like you should be really proud of what you did, right?
Yeah, I do. When you leave a startup, you start to doubt yourself and you think, what did I do wrong? Or could I have done more? Could I have done something differently? Should I have been more hell-bent on making this my life? That comes a point where you think, maybe it wasn't the business that I needed to be in
Yeah.
anymore.
Sometimes things just run their course and just end naturally. It sounds like it's just sort of ended naturally, and it's time to move on to the next thing. And you know, you like you said when you was younger, you were always entrepreneurial, so it's in you to do it again. You're still young. You know, you've had one successful business. How do you feel like the pressure is for you starting a new business? Like we're starting a new business now. It's called, well, I said IVI earlier, but it's IV.
It's always an uphill battle. I think once you've done it once before, the steepness of this mountain that you're about to climb is probably amplified. Like you know what went wrong in the last experience, what went right, and you're trying to get back to that state of like success, but it doesn't come overnight. It takes years.
Well, it's still finding product market fit for whatever you're selling or starting. And I think you're always trying to figure that out. Sometimes it comes easier than not. But like, what is IVI? What is this new business?
So upon leaving Vista, I really reflected on where am I most passionate. I had the freedom to start something new, and creativity has always been like my biggest thing I'm attracted to. That was very much a company that measured the impact of marketing campaigns. So we're right at the end of the process. You could only like helping shape the next campaign, but really it was like a company that informed clients of what happened in their campaigns, why it happened, and what to do next. So you can imagine it's kind of like post campaign centered. With my passion being for creativity, I felt like a natural progression to go to the other end of the spectrum would go back to creating campaigns, creating content, strategizing.
So like the grassroots beginning stage of the process.
Exactly, yeah.
And do you think that was because you are surrounded by a lot of creative people?
Yeah, I think being in Berlin was probably influenced that a lot. But I was always, like, even when we were making analytical reports on what happened in these campaigns, I always had a real close eye for like the design of the report and the aesthetics and everything. So I think it's been part of me for a long time that I haven't been able to let that part of me flourish. At this start. And understandably, the business is an analytical business. It's a data company effectively. So the team that we had were predominantly business managers, insight analysts, data scientists, and a huge part of the company was also technical. So I was in some ways towards the end of my time at the company a bit out of my depth, and you have to look around and see where you can add value. And I think from my own skill sets, what I brought to the table was sales skills and marketing skills.
So that's what you're going to concentrate on this new business the most, the marketing side of it.
Yeah. So Ivy Group is not yet a business. Right now, what I've done is effectively created a community of talented freelancers or talented creators, and the idea is to go out and basically be like a connected figure in this industry and mix and match people to different projects as and when they come up. So one thing that I really am grateful for my time at this is I was able to position myself as someone who's quite well known in the marketing space, within a really solid and successful company behind me. It's really easy to speak to people that I want to speak to and network effectively. So now that I have this network, it's all about helping creatives, whether they're lighting technicians through to sound engineers or fasting directors, whatever it is.
You will be the full production team then?
The Ivy Group is made up of people that could cover our whole production. But I guess the unique element of Ivy Group is that we can actually just fill in the blanks when someone has a project and they might miss one or two individuals. We can look at our community and recommend individuals for specific projects. So I wouldn't say it's necessarily business. It's more of it's more of a community.
Yeah, yeah, I like
Community.
that. Yeah, I think if you create a community as well, eventually it can turn into business somehow,
Yeah.
some way. I think from what I'm looking at more on social media now, this sense of communities is thriving in businesses. Big corporations and big businesses are struggling to keep up with smaller brands now.
Right, yeah.
And I think that's cool if you could create some sort of smaller little, this is our little creative hub.
Yeah.
And if you want to be part of it, you can be part of it, where you end up in like a sort of little Discord group
Yeah.
or something, and
Yeah.
I've got this little
Yeah.
job here and this little job here, and I think that's a good way of
Yeah.
marketing that.
It's for me, it's like staying relevant. It's staying in touch with what's going on in the industry, and in a way, like I've gone through the I don't want to say struggle, but you could say maybe a struggle of building like a tech platform, a hyper growth company, and now I'm in some ways just doing that. Like it's not for me necessarily about having the next big startup. It's more about supporting people there and looking for a chance to show themselves and develop their careers. So
I think with AI coming into everything that we're doing now, creatives are gonna have to sort of change a little bit. How do you see that AI could affect this sort of industry in the future?
This was brought up with me when I told a few people that I was thinking about going down this path of creating a community of potential production team members. Obviously, it's really easy for people to post that AI is going to replace people's jobs or it's going to disrupt industries. And I do to yourself to a certain degree that there is something to be fearful of, but at the same time, I think it would be too easy to say there's no point doing anything because AI is going to replace that in a year's time. When it comes to creativity, the big thing for me is, yes, that a lot of the processes are going to be streamlined with the aid of having AI in place and used regularly within agencies or within brands, marketing divisions. But people still crave a human story. And we saw this year around Christmas for the release a Christmas ad that was completely AI generated. So using prompts to instruct AI on how to build this campaign and go through to actually making it. When you watch the ad and relative AI for generating content is something that's infancy still. When you look at the content, you can notice that there's like some disparity between live shot footage versus AI generated content. But I think more importantly, when you read the headlines saying Coca-Cola has released fully AI generated Christmas ad, your brain tells you, well, where's the artistic merit? Where's the hard work and the effort and the all the elements that go into making an amazing Christmas ad? And I think people, when they watch a piece of content, they know that it's been made by people, and they know there's been made with hard work and dedication and skill and talent and everything. I think they'll appreciate the ad more.
Yeah, I think that's where maybe people will start paying more for human interactions than AI interactions. And I think even though you may not be able to tell with the human eye in the future, hopefully there's some sort of copyright to say what it is. Otherwise, that could end up in a whole world of mess. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
I think we're already seeing some of that on social media at the moment.
The
But
deepfakes and everything.
the deep fake stuff.
Yeah.
But I think, you're right. I think it's definitely a difference.
Yeah, and we've spoken to a lot of these creators and trying to get as many ideas as possible. None of them seem concerned that they're going to be, out of a job or out of a career altogether. And let's see where it goes. I mean, obviously, AI is going to have some huge benefits. But for now, I think it would be that there's a really nice quote that someone put online I think it's some sort of philosopher, is that AI is taking away all the jobs that we want to do. Things like drawing, script writing, writing a novel, creating beautiful content. And it's not focused on the jobs that we don't want to do.
Yeah, I know. Why is it not like folding my laundry at home?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Instead, it's like creating cool videos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Leave that to humans.
Yeah, and I think we all have the power and maybe the determination to continue to be creative and continue to learn and develop within the art of creativity. Let's just take that away altogether and say, it's redundant and there's no future. I think it'd be a real shame to.
I heard what AI could be, and it's quite interesting. It could be so tailored to what you're into that, for instance, you could be watching a Netflix show and your algorithm would know so much that it could change the ending for how you would want to see it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of an interesting perspective to where I look at it.
It's the big thought I had with that was I think a lot of people really enjoy sharing their opinions or sharing their experience when they watch something on Netflix. Part of watching a great movie is talking about it with friends. So if there's a series or a new concept of streaming where everything's tailored to you, I think you miss out on that. Shared experience. Like I told you, like my ending was different to yours.
Yeah, true.
Maybe you could say that that's interesting, but we sometimes like to say, did you see the finale?
Do you go to the cinema much and stuff?
I do a fair bit.
I really like the York cinemas in Berlin. I think it's super special that we've got these really beautiful old cinemas with indie films on, and stuff.
Sure. I think tying this into AI and the future of creativity, we've seen humans rebel against technology and then go back to old technologies time and time again. So Fujifilm and Bluefall are now trying to navigate how they can keep up with demand for film. Because that's how
vinyl resale.
Exactly, vinyl records I think a couple of years ago outperformed streaming sales. Or downloads. Seeing you see people always want to go back to the old ways or the higher quality ways.
There's one thing I wish that people would go back to, and it's cars. I'm sick of cars looking like a battery and futuristic. It's like they've all watched a movie, iRobot or whatever, and think we all want to drive around these cars. And it's like, why do you make them look like old? Wicked cars.
Why take away all the things that are enjoyable about cars? Actually driving. Like everyone's talking about autonomous vehicles. I drive a 1997 BMW.
Oh, I love that.
It's my granddad's, it's manual, it has loads of quirks, it's...
Costs a fortune to fix.
My mechanic told me to scrap it. I'm not scrapping it to my granddad's. He's passed away.
Did you drive it here?
Yes, that's what I did.
Oh, wicked.
And I get a lot of confidence in it. It doesn't cost a lot, but it's not flashy or anything, but the build quality is insane. And it's built to last. It's
probably got about 200,000 on it.
250,000 miles.
250,000 miles,
And it goes well. I'm a hugely passionate about cars. A lot of the last year I've been looking at the car industry and the automotive industry to find jobs in the space. And I'm now.
Do you see any gaps in the car industry?
So I think the interesting thing about cars, and for 4 months I was working at a startup called Cardino, basically a consultant. They're a second-hand marketplace for electric vehicles. And I learned a lot about the behind the scenes of the automotive industry, particularly the reseller market, or the remarketing. Electric vehicles were, for many, seen as the future. We saw governments making diesel and combustion engines more expensive. We saw EVs having tax reductions and no road tax, for instance. But in the last year or two, demand for EVs has gone down drastically.
Yeah.
And there's a few facts that people, I think, still like the idea of having a combustion engine. It's arguably more convenient in terms of refueling, and ranges in most cases still a bit better.
I think so, yeah.
But I think, so yeah, for many people, cars are the pay to be. Someone to get me around. And I think electric vehicles are very suitable for people that without headwinds. For other people that might be more passionate about, the feeling you get from driving, maybe the EVs aren't quite satisfying there. Yeah, suppose with package of like what I want from a car.
Yeah, it's also a sign of, from the old times, of success, isn't it? You know, like you strive, you work hard towards getting this nice car. See it, especially growing up as a guy.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of, your dad was always like, this is a really nice car.
Yeah.
I work hard. You know, like, oh, he's got, so and so's got a Jaguar or something.
Right, yeah, so it was like married to like someone's success. And obviously some people buy cars way out of the price.
Yeah, exactly.
I used to just say the massive priority for me. I think cars will always be my like biggest passion in life.
Yeah, really. Okay.
And yeah, my fiance Anna every year she takes me on a different kind of car related birthday.
Yeah, all right, nice.
So we've done Beauty for Arrival last September, and she took me to Nürburgring.
Yeah. What did you go around it in?
The BMW F30. So
Nice.
For like a really like track spec BMW 3 Series.
What's it like? Is it as dangerous as everyone says?
Yeah, I mean, we saw 2 crashes.
Yeah, really?
In 2 laps. I mean, I say laps at the around 10 to 12 minutes. You know,
Is it per lap? Yeah. Wow, that is quite long.
And I haven't had much like motor racing experience besides a bit of karting and stuff.
Yeah.
So to be on a track in a car that you're not like familiar with, around people that range from like professional drivers through to some geezer that turns up and is like banged up.
What happens then? Do you have to just get out of the way of the professional driver?
Yeah, and he's obviously in the car, and they already had this concaved wing mirror, so it was really wide angle, and everything was in roll cages and fully stripped out, so it was quite a big experience. Like, authentic like racing experience, but you do see people going like they're listening constantly, like you're the death wish, I think.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, I've never been into cars. Like, I've never been like a person who was like, I really need a nice car, but I do get it. I do get it.
Yeah, I mean, if I had the money,
What would you get? Any car?
So I always wanted to get my dad an E-Type.
Yeah.
That's his favourite car, and I still have got a huge appreciation for them.
Yeah.
As I said, when your dad said, yeah, that's a nice car, and you kind of grow up with that mindset. But the demand for like classic cars, so like pre-1950s, is really increasing because the age at which people admired them are now they get into the 70s, 80s, and they don't need a sports car anymore.
Yeah.
I still think I'm going to be one of those people that appreciates that classic era.
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe not about that effect from lower prices.
So an E-Type Jaguar still?
Yeah, it'll still be up there for sure. I think practicality-wise, like you get it like Audi RS6.
Nice.
I always rent Miles A4s Bavarians, so that
They're nice, right?
Great yours.
Yeah.
And I always say to everyone I'm driving with, I'm like, this is the perfect car.
Yeah.
Get a dog in the boot, 2 phones in the back, or like as much luggage as you
I love a Range Rover, man.
Yeah.
I just love it. I quite like that they're starting to do these smaller versions.
Right, yeah.
It's like quite city-ish.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But it's still a 4x4. It's quite nice. I was saying this because I'm getting a car actually next month, and just a little run around, just to be able to take the dog around and stuff. But we were saying, I was talking to my partner, like, which would be a dream car, and I was like, Range Rover, and I was like, what would be your dream car? And she was like, one with no roof.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, yeah.
It's really great. That's great. But I think I appreciate most of what I made in mine. And I got my first car when I was 17. It was like always my biggest priority. Like when I started this events company, I bought cars with the money that I made off that. But it was always the freedom that I cherished. Not
Yeah.
like how
Again,
I looked or, I mean, I chose some real bangers, but
Did you always have a car in Berlin? Or did
Yeah.
you? Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, because moving to somewhere and not having a car is quite liberating. And then you get a car and you're like, how did I ever live without a car?
exactly. Yeah, I mean, I've hung out with people in Berlin that haven't gone to Greenville.
Yeah, true.
Gone to Potsdam. I can see why, like, go with this public transport. I mean, we have no love to have good public transport, but just that you'll be able to taste those places that aren't so well connected. And even like, coming here to Europe because I like driving through the city.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
It's a nice way to see it from like, not being in the underground.
Yeah, and you definitely do see more of the city when you're driving around. You get your bearings of where things are a little bit, because usually when you're on public transport, you're just on your phone.
Yeah.
So you don't actually take note of the roads, which is kind of
actually weirdly mentioned this. I stopped using maps.
Oh yeah.
It was really apparent to me that I had no idea how to get from A to B without maps.
Yeah.
And I would always just shout at the car, why are you going this way? But I'm getting you where I'm going, I'm sorry, I'm not. But I was so dependent on maps, I feel like I wasn't using my brain the right way. I was like, just informed what's together. So now that I've stopped using them, I'm actually putting much more attention to where I am, like following like some sort of like inbuilt navigation system in our brain, being like, that road seems southish, and I'm going to head that way from it. And it's making me like really appreciate the city more. Like,
It is a large city, and I think definitely more appreciative if you know where you're going a little bit more and stuff, and learn to read those signs and stuff like that. Because they're a little bit confusing. They end up with the odd parking ticket here and there because you think you're in the right area.
I mean, I think I parked illegally, I'm not sure.
It'll be fine. Anyway, Dom, I'm gonna finish up the interview. I really appreciate you coming in. I just want to kind of end with one question that would be a city in Europe or the world which you would be in if it wasn't Berlin.
I think London makes the most sense from a business mindset. Like London or a US city. In terms of speaking the language, having close proximity to clients and close proximity to potential collaborators or whatever. And I feel like Berlin is actually in some ways quite challenging in that sense. Like finding a job that doesn't require German has always been it's something that maybe sets me apart from a lot of the other applicants. And there were times in Berlin when I thought, I wish I just spoke better German so I could get these jobs that I'm applying for.
But I suppose if you can do it here, you can do it anywhere. Then.
Exactly. So I think Berlin's obviously it's still very international and there's still plenty of things speaking opportunities. But if I wasn't to be in Berlin, and I wasn't to be in London or the US for that business angle, I would actually love to have a stint in Asia. I grew up in Hong Kong, and then my family moved to Singapore when I was 8 years old. So they're all in Singapore at the moment, my mum, dad, and my sister. And while Singapore's not quite right for me, but Singapore and Berlin are the opposites.
Yeah.
You have an underground scene here, probably more drugs within 100 meters of my house than all
The
of
whole
Singapore.
of Singapore.
All of Singapore's history, probably. So they're total opposites. There's also another thing about Singapore. It's safe, it's convenience. Also, the Switzerland of Asia. A lot of.
So which city?
But I think I didn't know more Guangzhou, so Hong Kong would probably be my.
Hong Kong.
We spent Christmas there this year, and it was really nice because Anna's had this perception of Singapore being too too clean, too regimented. She went to Hong Kong and she was really blown away by how Berlin it was.
Okay, cool.
And super fashionable population. Everyone really
Does it still feel quite British?
It feels less British now. So my parents were there, and I was there till 2001. The handover from the UK to status, somewhat independence, was 1987. And unfortunately, unfortunately, depends whose perspective you're taking from. Hong Kong is now becoming a bit more Chinese. I say that, like, it sounds bad, obviously, for the population there that are pro-China. They're probably enjoying that, but what I notice about Hong Kong is they really pride themselves in having their own identity, being all Mars. And there's obviously been protests in Hong Kong around China's influence, and I hope Hong Kong remains the same.
So moving from one political city like Berlin that loves a protest to another political city that loves a protest. Maybe you like the controversy a little bit.
I like living on the edge a little bit. But Hong Kong was really unique. It's almost got this like really metropolitan city, like huge skyscrapers, very big, highly dense, living in like quarters and buildings, and the whole thing is just vertical. But then as soon as you get out of that Bay Area and you go to what you say is like the hillsides or like the outskirts, it turns into a completely different place. Like there's beautiful sea, beautiful beaches, mountains you can go hiking in, and space and peace and quiet as well. So it's a city of extremes, or country of extremes, and just so like dramatic in every sense. You've got the mountains, the skyscrapers.
It's nice to have all that.
Yeah, that'd be this extreme there.
Cool, man.
Thanks so much, man.
Thanks, mate. It was a pleasure.
And best of luck with Startup Cats. I think this is a great concept. You
Got a nice fresh haircut to go home with as well.
It's like perfect service, so thank you.
No problem, mate. Cheers, man.